I went from 0 to 10K a month in just 2 months, and you can too. You see, there is a cheat code that you can follow to get to 10K per month with your SMMA business. In fact, there are 2 routes that you can follow, and we're going to walk you through those 2 routes today. We're going to assume that for route 1, one of our students, John, is following this approach. So inside of route 1, there are 4 phases. Phase 1 involves getting your first 3 clients. We're going to call these your 3 beta clients. Okay, this has nothing to do with alpha and beta male. This is literally just a term for your first 3 clients. The reason these are called beta clients is that they don't pay you as much money. They may pay you $500 per month or even less. But it's also because how you sign these clients is not how you would sign clients when you're already making a lot of money. At this stage, you're not making any money and you probably don't have results. So we have to decrease our price and really over communicate to our prospect that we're going to do a whole lot more for them than we will for our clients in the future. So this is what you're going to use to get to 1.5K per month. So that's 3 clients at about $500 each. Now, how you're going to get these 3 beta clients, there is 3 main methods you're going to follow. First is Upwork. Upwork is a great tool for getting your first few clients. The reason so many people use it is because when a business owner posts a job saying, hey, I'm looking for a social media manager, that is what we call a warm lead. That is someone telling you, this is what I want. So if you can do that thing, you apply to that job. Now, you weren't guaranteed to get the job. There are many other people that will also apply to the job. So you do have to spend some time making your proposal seem different and to stand out from the crowd. You're also going to do some networking. Many of my students sign their first 1 to 2 clients from networking. This simply involves them reaching out to people they may have connected with on LinkedIn, or people in their local area, or a family friend who has a business who needs some help with marketing. In fact, one of my students, Gavin, he signed a 1K a month client who was actually his dad for at least 3 months. And his dad was happy to pay that money because he had a business, he needed help, and Gavin was able to do a very, very good job. So that's an example of a beta client. And the last method you're going to use to get these first few clients is outreach. So outreach, I'm sure you guys know this already, it's the process of you reaching out cold to a business owner. Now, the reason this still works, even though you don't have any results or any proof at this stage in time, is because you're going to charge less money and you're going to over deliver. You're going to do more for the client than you will for client number 10. Cool. So that's phase 1 done. Phase number 2 is getting yourself to 5K per month. Okay. So you're going from 1.5 to 5K per month. You're going to do this with higher prices. So you're going to increase your price. Let's say you started with, so let's say your first clients were for $500 per month, and that got you to 1.5K. To get to 5K per month, we're going to increase that price, maybe to 6, 7, or even 800 per month. For phase 2, you're actually going to just continue with all of the 3 methods that we looked at in phase 1. Our methodology here is if it isn't broken, don't try and fix it. But that methodology won't work for getting to 10K a month and beyond. This is just to get you to 5K per month. You see, at this stage, phase 1 and 2, you're probably going to do a lot of the work yourself. If you're not doing the work yourself, that's cool. It just means that you obviously have outsourced and hired people to help you. But let's just assume that you haven't done that just yet. If you haven't done it just yet, in between phase 2 and 3, when you're in and around 5K per month, you need to start hiring people and outsourcing the work. So that's why I've added in this extra space here. That's for the gap between phase 2 and phase 3. This is where you're going to hire typically a VA, so a virtual assistant who's going to help you do admin and some outreach. If you're doing social media management, you definitely want to get a graphic designer or a video editor. And if you're doing any form of paid advertising or email marketing, you're also going to get some specialist that's going to help you in those areas. Now, the goal here is to keep your profit margins very high. So when you keep this between around 70/80%. So you might be wondering, how long is it going to take you to get through phase 1 to make your first 1.5K, and then how to get your first 5K? Look, from my experience, I have had students work with me and get to 5K per month in the first 90 days. I had one student get to 6K per month in the first 30 days. But on average, because those are outliers, they are above the average result. The average is to get to around 1.5 to 2K in your first 90 days. And then going from 1.5K to 5K typically takes the same time or less. So typically another 2 to 3 months. So in total, within 5 months, if you follow this to a T, you should be at 5K per month. Now, can you do it a lot faster? Of course. I did it in less than 2 months. So if you follow this to a T and go above and beyond and really work hard at this, of course, you can do exactly what I've done. Cool. So phase number 3 is slightly different. Phase number 3 is getting yourself to the infamous 10K per month. So how you get here is typically going to be with Upwork and outreach. So that stays the exact same. But you remember this little one here? We hired a VA. So this VA is going to help us with outreach, aka helping us with Upwork and outreach. So you're going to do more outreach with the same effort. So you might still do 2 hours of outreach per day, but you now have a VA also doing 2 or 3 extra hours with you. Or you just pay them to do 4 or 5 and you just replace yourself completely. And the extra way you're going to get clients now is referrals. Okay, referrals start to flow in after you've been in business for a few months, after you've had your first 5 to 10 clients, and after you've gotten really good results. And referrals are incredibly powerful. Now, if you want to create a very good referral system, there's 2 things you need to know. Firstly, the referral system has to give an incentive to the business owner who's already your client. So let's say your client is Mark. Well, you're going to say to Mark, look, I will give you 10% of whatever anybody signs up for. So I'll either give you a discount on your monthly fee or I'll just pay you 10%. Cool. The second part is to make it incentivized for Mark's buddy that he's referring. So let's just call, we've got Mark's friend, and Mark's friend's name is Luke. And so you're going to say to Luke, because Mark referred you, we're going to give you a bonus. We're going to give you a 5% discount in month 1 or something extra for free. This makes Mark look really good and it also makes him money. So of course, Mark is going to be like, this is a no-brainer and I'm going to shout your name from the rooftops. Cool. So you're doing more outreach and you're getting referrals. And this is typically the journey from 5 to 10K per month. Now, to go on to phase number 4. Phase number 4 is 10K a month and beyond, typically from 10K a month all the way to 20K. Now, at this stage, everything is going to stay the same. You're still going to do more outreach. You're going to continue to get a lot of referrals, but you're now not going to do Upwork. The reason you're not going to do Upwork, and I wouldn't advise you do Upwork, is because for you to scale your business past 10K a month, you need to have a niche. You need to have one key service you offer. And when you're on Upwork, it's very difficult to do that. You can't choose or filter the type of businesses that reach out to you by a niche or an industry. So it just means that your clients are going to be random and they're all going to be doing different things. And that just impacts your ability to scale without pulling your hair out. And that's why Upwork is great as a starter, but it's not going to get you to 20 or 30K per month. Cool, so that is route 1, and John has taken that route and it has worked incredibly well for him. And this is a route that many of my students take. So let's move on to the second route. Now stick with me, there are only 2 routes. And route number 2, we've got our buddy Jim, who's going to do that. So the key difference between 1 and 2 is that route 2 is literally just outreach. No Upwork. Yes, referrals, but we can't really control them that much. So we're not going to be putting much effort into them. We'll build out the referral system, let our clients know, and that's about it. So we're just going to do outreach. We're not going to do Upwork. Now, this is the route that I personally took. I didn't use Upwork to sign any clients in my agency for the reasons I've just explained to you. Because just doing outreach allows me to have a very clear niche, allows me to stick to just one service. And what this gives me is more scalability. It keeps my profit margins up, right? Because if I have 10 clients in the same niche with one service, I know I won't have to do as much work for them because I can kind of use some of what I did for client 1 for client 2. I'm not going to copy it directly, but I'm going to use it as a basis or a template. So my profit margins will be higher because I don't have to pay as many hours to my team. And an amazing point is that my stress is actually going to be lower because I'm not dealing with people in different industries. I just have to figure out one industry, and what works for that I can use for all my clients. So here's exactly what that looks like, phase 1 all the way to phase 4. So we'll keep this nice, short and sweet. So phase 1, again, we're getting 3 clients at around $500 a month. So similar to route 1, that's going to get us to 1.5K a month. And again, our vehicle is just outreach. That's it, no Upwork. For phase 2, we want to get ourselves up to 5K a month. Again, our vehicle, just outreach. So some referrals might be starting to flow in, but we're not going to be doing any Upwork. It's all just outreach. And I think you get the gist here, okay? The phases are almost the exact same, just the only main difference is that you're just not doing Upwork, you're just doing outreach. And it's the same for phase 4, so I'm not even gonna do that one for you. So we've just talked briefly about why Upwork is amazing, right? Why it makes sense if you wanna take route 1 to get some of those easy clients locked in and get your feet on solid ground. And we've touched on why it doesn't make sense long-term. And we've looked at the benefits of not doing Upwork, okay? One niche, one service, scalability, profit margins are up, stress is down. But the main issue I have with Upwork is it doesn't have a beautiful thing that I call predictability. You see, predictability comes from you being able to control a series of inputs. So in this case, we're going to call the inputs messages you send. So if you're doing outreach on Instagram or LinkedIn or cold email, if you're doing it yourself or you're doing it with a virtual assistant, you can increase the number of messages they send very easily. For example, if you're on Instagram and let's say you've got one account and you're sending 50 messages a day, you do that on one account. To double your outreach, to do 100 a day, you just create a second account. You can create the second account, make it a backup of your personal page. It'll take you a couple of days to build up a couple hundred followers on there, do a bit of follow, and now you've just done 100. So you can very, very easily double that with very little cost. In fact, no cost if you want to do it all yourself. Whereas when you look at Upwork, you have a limit. You have a very much a hard limit of how many connections you can send out. So how many jobs you can apply to. And yes, you can buy connects, but it's quite expensive. Costs a lot of money to do this. And the second reason it doesn't give you as much predictability is that you don't control the lead flow. All right, one week there could be 100 businesses looking for social media managers, and the next week there's 2. Like, you can't control that. That is just up to the business owners that are using Upwork. And it's also a platform that could change its rules and could change very quickly. So you might be relying on it and then it just changed dramatically. Whereas when you follow the route of just doing outreach, whether it's called email, LinkedIn, or Instagram, you go through some hard learnings because you learn how to cold approach a business owner. And if you can do that on one platform, you can do it on any platform. That's a skill that you've acquired. So if email vanishes off the face of the earth, you can still get clients by LinkedIn, Instagram, maybe Facebook groups, and Pinterest. But if Upwork vanishes, you're done. Your business is gone. So those are the reasons why route number 2 is the route I took with my business and why many of my students opt for this route. But my final message to you guys in this video is that these 2 routes work. So I don't want you to think, okay, I have to do route number 2. Look, route 1 can still work for you. But I just wanted to give you the 2 options. Try the 2 out, see what works best for you. But my main message to you is that these are the cheat code, okay? The cheat code is following a plan. The cheat code is knowing how to control your inputs, your outreach, or how many jobs you apply to on Upwork so that you can then control the outputs, how many clients you get and how much money you make. And that is the real cheat code. That is the only way you're going to get to 10K per month. You're not going to get there by luck or by one fancy, crazy strategy. It's by knowing how much you can control, how many messages you can send, and the more you can send, the better. Now, there's a lot to cover there and there's a lot to unpack. So I want you to take a couple moments before you watch your next video here on YouTube and sit with that and think, what route are you going to take? What kind of plan are you going to put in place? And if you still do have questions, go down below this video and book in a free consultation with myself. And I'll see you on a quick Zoom call very soon so we can see if I can help you out and if you'd be a good fit to work with me. So have a great rest of your day and I'll see you soon.